Hello and welcome back to another episode of my NBA 2K16 Boston Celtics MyLEAGUE series. And last time we left off with the All-Star Weekend, and I do not think I'm going to participate in it due to this main reason right here. As we go to All-Star participants, we see that Isaiah Thomas nor any of the Boston Celtics are even here. So by that logic, I don't see a reason in playing it. And for some reason, Thaddeus Young is an all-star, and probably for good reason. 19.4 points per game and 10.4 rebounds per game, shooting over 50% from the field. I don't understand why Thaddeus Young is an all-star or why he has those statistics, but we're not really going to question it. Well, I mean, we should, but we're not going to. But let's take a look at the standings, though. Brooklyn is 19-35. It's kind of odd. And they get an all-star. The Boston Celtics currently third in the East, 32-23. 0 all-stars? Come on now. And let's go back to more all-star participants. As you can see, that's a pretty standard list in the West, but where Brook Lopez and DeAndre Jordan kind of switched places. That affected it a little bit. But the dunk contest. We have 3 members of the Minnesota Timberwolves in one dunk contest. That has to be some kind of record. And Rondé Hollis-Jefferson out of nowhere. 3-point contest, pretty standard stuff. Can't really complain with it. And no one in the Stars or the Elites, believe it or not. So I don't see a reason to compete. So we're just going to simulate. And we'll sim cash just to be doing it. Let's actually stop simulation. Well, yeah, let's just go fastest. Let's see who gets the win. The Stars get the win, and well, the Elites, yeah, pretty balanced score. Nothing too special. Simulate through day. Let's see what happens with that, and if there's actually a way to check it. Okay, so we have Klay Thompson, pretty accurate in terms of the 3-point contest winner. And the slam dunk contest winner is Andrew Wiggins. Can't really complain with that, although Zach LaVine probably deserved to win that. I don't know, since he's actually participated in it. And then here's the All-Star game. And the West opened up on a 9-0 run, so that's pretty funny. I'd say, yeah, the West has got this by a long margin. This is what happens when you don't include anyone from the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference. They end up losing by a lot. And it looks like Steph Curry probably won MVP of the All-Star game. Paul George not even close to breaking Wilt Chamberlain's record for points in one All-Star game this time around. And we're going to simulate right up into the trade deadline. That is not going to happen. And Tony Rodent is now injured. I'm going to adjust the rotation manually for this. Apparently he was not getting any minutes whatsoever anyway at the moment. So we're just going to leave it like it is. Simulate through that day, and now it is a trade deadline. And according to social media, Kevin Durant. Wait a minute. Kevin Durant is apparently going to test free agency, which is huge. We could possibly get Kevin Durant in free agency. That could be something. And apparently there's rumors going around that Rudy Gobert... Wait a minute. Rudy Gobert in hopes of landing Michael Kidd-Gilchrist? What kind of speculation is that? Amon Shumpert? Okay, you're definitely wrong on that, because we're going to try something else. We got something else up our sleeve. Okay, so I've worked up this trade, and I believe this is my final trade offer for DeMarcus Cousins I'm going to play around with. Rudy Gobert, Amir Johnson, the Nets' first-round pick this year, which is pretty much looking like a top 5 pick maybe top 3, maybe even better than that. Nuggets first round 2017, Pistons first round 2017, and Jazz first round 2017. I know that is a ton to give up, and it's almost not even worth it, but when you think about how much limited time that I actually have to do this series, and I kind of want to go for that championship, and it's a win now mentality, the more I think we should do this. Now, I know the skill gap between DeMarcus Cousins and Rudy isn't too much. Like, it isn't too much of a disparity. 88 and 81 right now. But I just believe DeMarcus Cousins can give us that missing piece that we need, that the Celtics need to win a championship and to compete for a championship. And let's go ahead and see if this goes through. Oh my gosh. Okay. DeMarcus Cousins is now a member of the Boston Celtics, and just to be safe here, no trade override or anything like that. So we got him, but we had to give up a lot. I guess only time will tell whether or not that was a good decision. Probably change his number, and also we need to change Courtney Lee's number to something else, because that is Paul Pierce's number, and that is not going to stand. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to release Eric Moreland to free agency, and in his place, this is kind of a tough call, because it's kind of like, what do we need off the bench? And Boozer's there, which is interesting. Reggie Evans is interesting. Glenn Davis, pretty interesting. And what he can give us. Andre Karolinko, not really a power forward, to be honest. But there's a lot of excellent choices here that could provide valuable minutes off the bench. And I think I've narrowed it down to the top 3 here. So let's go ahead and see. Inside scoring, Boozer and Davis definitely have it over Evans. Boozer just seems like the best all-around guy to get here. So let's see if we can negotiate a contract. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to do much with Carlos Boozer, considering we cannot afford him at all, which is a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. That's about all we can do for him in that regard. Let's see about centers that can play power forward. Like Elton Brand. What can we give Elton Brand? That seems like a pretty good move right there. Elton Brand. Let's see, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Will you accept $850? Right, will you do that, Elton? There we go, Elton Brand. And he will not be number 34. Calm down. We're going to adjust this. We're going to adjust all of this. Just calm down. We have 47 minutes remaining. Yeah, let's work this out. Okay, so I'm going to try this trade out. Kelly Olynyk, the Sixers 2018 first-round pick, and then 3 second-round picks in 2017 for Christian Wood and the 76ers first-round pick this year. Now, they're actually doing pretty well. They're like mid-table, kind of. They're just outside of the playoffs, so I'm kind of hoping if this does go through that they'll have a bad second half of the season and I'll end up getting a good pick out of it. We don't need our second-round picks, and we don't really need Kelly Olynyk either because of Larry Sanders and DeMarcus Cousins now getting the minutes. So realistically, let's just see what we can do. And they've agreed to the trade offer. Okay. So now we don't really need Christian Wood on the roster. I don't necessarily want to keep him. And I don't want him to be number 34 either. Everyone's always number 34 when they join the Celtics for some reason. It's starting to make me angry, because that number is going to be retired. But we're going to sort this out. We'll see. Okay, so there's 2 offers that I found for Christian Wood that are exceptional, I will say. So the first one is Richard Jefferson and Cleveland's first-round pick for this year. That's not bad considering Christian Wood is someone I'm not going to use and didn't plan on using. And we get a veteran and a pick in return. But then there's this. Now be very, very careful when you see this. We have Paul Pierce and a 2018 Clippers first-round pick. Now this interests me quite a bit because we were talking about how no one should have Paul Pierce's number and it would be something for him to retire as a Celtic. I don't know exactly what his role would be in this team, considering we have Evan Turner and Jay Crowder at the small forward positions, but given the fact that if we do decide to actually go through with this, Paul Pierce could fit into a rotation with Evan Turner's point guard. Or Paul Pierce might be able to play a bit of 4, maybe 3 and 4. I don't know. I'm really interested to bring Paul Pierce back because hasn't really been performing that well for the Clippers in terms of statistics or really anything. But I mean, heck, if we can bring a legend back and have him retire, possibly even win a championship with him, he can make a difference. I know he can. And these are just some of the other trades that I saw here. All kind of decent, but like Contagious Caldwell Pope, that's a decent trade. Like, I'm not gonna lie. But can you really beat Paul Pierce? I mean, there's a Donatas Motiejunas as well, but we just signed Elton Brand. Otherwise, I'd probably go through with that trade. The diehard Celtics fans will agree with me. The progressive Celtics fans, maybe not. But I'm going to do it. Paul Pierce is coming home. Coming back to where he belongs. Christian Wood, get out of that 34 number jersey and take it to the Clippers. Okay, so we have Paul Pierce. There's the man, the myth, the legend, Paul Pierce. Wow. Let's see if we can get any more deals done before trade deadline. Okay, so I'm just, trade finder results for Joel Anthony just to be doing it. And Joffrey Laverne comes up. I don't know how to pronounce his last name that well. Yeah, I've barely heard of the guy. But, are you kidding me? Like, I don't understand why they want to get rid of him, but I mean, I'm going to do it. If the Nuggets are going to be stupid, then we're going to capitalize on it. If you really want Joel Anthony, go ahead and take him. That's my stance on the issue. Okay, so here is the rotation. Okay, so here's the rotation that I'm going with. You can kind of get a read for it and a feel for it on what I'm trying to do here, but my gosh, this team is loaded. And right now you see a lot of -1s because of chemistry and because we made a lot of trades, but it'll get better with time and as we progress in the playoffs. But very, very strong roster right here. I'll tell you that. Very, very strong. Alright, so I've decided to not play the game this episode, but instead I'm just going to practice with the squad a little bit, get a good feel for the players before actually going to a game. And look at that, Boogie on the boards already. Couldn't get it to go. But yeah, this is going to be interesting, just playing around with the team a little bit. And I guess I'll show highlights from this live scrimmage. They couldn't really hurt. And apparently it's near Valentine's Day, according to 2K on the scoreboard there, the overlay. But Isaiah Thomas and DeMarcus Cousins finally reunite, but it's in Boston. And it's gonna be an interesting rest of the season, I'll tell you that. I'm not exactly sure what the outcome's going to be. I know we're going to be going in the playoffs with at least, I would at least say top 3. I would give myself that. And on top of that, like, I did not want to go into a game, especially with making this many trades. Let's try to get the team used to each other in new ways, because we do have a lot of new players and a lot of new faces that we need to get used to. And look at this, that's way too deep. That has to be way too deep. Now, 2K, don't make me regret this trade. I need to give it to him in the post. Well, I promise I'll give it to him in the post next time no matter what, and then we'll end the video. But I want to know your opinion. Do you think this team, where it currently sits, with all the players it has, can it win a championship this season? I think we can compete. I think we'll make the Eastern Conference Finals as long as we're the 2 seed and Cleveland's the 1 seed. From there, I don't know, because Cleveland has always had my number, it seems. Like that they always stack up against me well. It's so hard to play against them. And I said I was going to give it to DeMarcus Cousins, but I didn't. So let's give it to him in this possession. Hopefully it's a made field goal. That way we can end this thing. But I'm excited for the rest of the season. How many more games should we play before we get to the playoffs? Like maybe 2 or 3, and then really decide. And that was a dumb move on my part, but you know, just a lot of things to take into consideration. I'll probably make a comment in the comment section asking different things, making straw polls, I don't know. Just multiple things that can be done. But I gave it to him last. Okay. We need a play for Boogie. A play designed for Boogie. Okay, I'll live with an assist. There you go. Nice play. Anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed, and as always, have a nice day.